Why do narcissists smirk? Not every smirk comes from a narcissistic person, but most narcissistic people smirk. A smirk is when the narcissist is feeling smug over the pain they have caused you, or they've got away with something they shouldn't be doing, or they have a great satisfaction in the fact that they've done something others don't know anything about, which shows on one level they have an awareness of what they're doing. Whether that's on a conscious level or a subconscious level depends on the narcissist and what they've been doing. Top 7 examples of when narcissistic people smirk at you. The smirk can last for a moment or a few minutes. Sometimes you just get that flash that makes you feel uneasy. Number 1, when they are purposefully deceiving others and think that they are getting away with it. Number 2, when they see your pain, either pain you're suffering from external sources, when you're telling them about something that's happened to you or something that's happened to a loved one, and for a second you see that smirk. Or it can be the pain that they have caused you. That look makes you feel uncomfortable, yet you're not sure why you feel uncomfortable. Number 3, when they reject your thoughts, feelings or opinions and they've caused you to feel pain, hurt, anger, frustration through their manipulative, gaslighting, blame-shifting games, or when they've made you feel these things through their actions or even down to having a conversation with one. Number 4, if you set boundaries and say no, you don't give them what they want, so they punish you in some way through things like those silent treatments. So you're upset, frustrated, angry, hurt. They know they've upset you. They may smirk as they are pleased that they've got to you. Number 5, if you ask them about something they've done, so they start blame shifting, gaslighting, projecting their own insecurities and faults onto you. The whole, if you hadn't, you're jealous, I'm sorry but you. As narcissists are incredibly envious of others, when you start to try and discuss or rationalise with them, they start to get frustrated that you are questioning them. So if you start to try and rationalise with them, they will provoke you until you start to get frustrated with them. And when people are provoking you, it's human nature to want to defend ourselves. And they get pleasure out of the confusion and the frustration and the pain that they cause within others' minds. And you might catch that smirk. Number 6, when they're playing mind games with you to manipulate you or gaslight you, to distract you from the reality of their toxic behaviour, to play a game with one hand while they're doing a game elsewhere with another. And when you're left feeling confused or defensive, because they're distorting your reality, you might have seen that smirk at the time, not aware of what it's about. Number 7, when they do manage to provoke reactions from you. A narcissist will provoke you to get a reaction out of you so they can blame it all on you. People can smirk to deceive others, but also to protect themselves. Just because someone is pulling this face does not mean they are a narcissist or that they are toxic. Some people smirk when they didn't get what they wanted without exploiting others, when they just worked hard for something and didn't achieve what they wanted. Or they are upset about something, or they're feeling embarrassed or shy about something. With a narcissist, the smirk is a malicious, unpleasant, mocking, and even intimidating half smile. The smirk often forms at one side of the narcissist's mouth as they feel contempt. The meaning of contempt is a despising or a lack of respect, full of disobedience towards someone or something, with an intense dislike. Narcissists feel contempt as they believe they are superior to all others and think they're entitled to control and take advantage of others. They think if people aren't doing what they want, they believe that others are then worthless or beneath them. And if someone is perceived to be criticising them, which is very easy to criticise one. You cannot give them constructive criticism. Anything and everything to them is perceived as negative criticism of who they are. So anything that's perceived as criticism by them, anything that's perceived as putting them down or making them feel shame, they will then go all out to hurt you, to put you down, to drag you down, to make you feel that pain, to put themselves back above you, to make themselves feel superior to all others, because they think they're entitled to control and take advantage of others. They think if people aren't doing what they want, they believe that others are worthless or beneath them. As the narcissist lacks in the empathy, they have a complete disregard for how their actions might have affected or are affecting those around them, only how the actions of others affect the narcissist themselves. A smirk is often formed when a narcissist feels happiness and pleasure in the pain or suffering of another. The smirk is that micro expression which is the involuntary flash of what they feel on the inside, showing for a moment on the outside. Through these micro expressions, people reveal what they are truly feeling on the inside. These are when toxic and non-toxic people are feeling emotion that they are trying not to show to others. For us, for survivors, feeling emotions such as resentment, which is a normal emotion, especially after this kind of experience. Resentment can cause people to smirk when they don't want to show the resentment. Still, for a moment, it appears on their face. Survivors of narcissistic abuse can show the smirk, especially when we realise just how unfairly the narcissist has treated us, just how much they have duped us. Feelings like jealousy, again, it's a universal emotion, and these emotions are very valid with how much a narcissist puts you through. Lies to you and exploits you, then walks off with your life, your belongings, leaving you feeling confused and crushed. At the same time, they swan off into the sunset as though nothing's happened, often with your replacement. This can cause you feelings such as jealousy and anger directed towards the narcissist, who has the power then to provoke you. While you are in recovery, you might feel resentment towards them as they've trained you to feel as though you weren't enough and you are still putting yourself then below them. You may feel shame, you may feel daft, you may feel stupid, and you may be after revenge for all these things they've done for you. You are not daft, you are not stupid, you haven't done anything wrong. That is how they get you to feel. So therefore, when people feel revenge, when people feel resentment, survivors can pull the smirk. Having contempt towards someone who's tried to destroy everything about who you are does not make you a narcissist. It doesn't make you toxic. It makes you human with emotions. Some survivors can also have a happy contempt smirk if they find out karma has visited the narcissist. Not because they were actively seeking revenge, because they heard some form of karma hit them. Not all smirks have malicious intent. Some smirks are formed because when we see someone who's toxic, when we see someone who's hurtful, when we see someone who destroys other people, no longer getting away with their manipulation, toxic behaviour, when we see that and then we see justice, or we hear that justice is being served, there is no wrong in being happy when justice is served. With anger, this is often a feeling we get when someone provokes us or when someone has been unfair or unkind to us. Anger is often directed towards someone who we view as an equal to us. And as we move through recovery, we might lose that resentment and start going into the anger phase, or we might hit the anger phase straight away. We are individuals, so it varies from person to person. We might have resentment coming back from time to time if they're still trying to provoke us, or whatever stunt they are trying to pull to bring us down. And that's their game plan. Their game plan is to bring us down, to hurt us. So you'll notice more anger towards them as you begin to feel more of an equal and realise they are not above you. They do not have power and control over you. You are far, far from stupid. They are highly deceptive, highly manipulative. Their games are incredibly hard to see when we don't know what they are. Then the stage of anger for those when they realise just how harmful and how hurtful a narcissist is. They are not worthy of your time as they do not care for others. You might go through a stage of feeling pity, the feelings of sorrow for one's suffering. We have to move away from self-pity, which again is a universal emotion and most understandable. It's an extremely valid emotion with everything that narcissists put people through. However, that woe is me can only bring us down and keep us trapped in the past. We have to work through any self-pity. Pitying the narcissist for the things that they claim to have been through. And often the tragedy in this is they will have been through some of these things. They're not all made up. They might be exaggerated. They're not always made up though. But some of the things that they've been through in their childhood, we may feel pity for them, sorrow for them. And that can keep us trapped with them. That can keep us excusing their toxic behaviour, and there is no excuse. They have a personality disorder. That is a reason behind their behaviour. That is no excuse to go around hurting other people. There is hurt people that go around helping others to feel better within themselves, or to feel better with them. And then there's hurt people that go around destroying others, and whatever disorder they have, whatever they've been through, there is no excuse to hurt other people. So when we pity them, it can keep us going back as they pull on our empathy, and they know all the tricks of the trade to pull on our empathy with their own pity plays. When we get to the point when we learn about the disorder, we might still go through a phase of pitying them, thinking they can't help it. They have a disorder. They can help it. If there is consequences, if there is an audience, they can behave very, very differently. When they're in the idolization stage, they can hide that away while they pull you in. They can help it when they want to. When they hit the point of no return and they've gone into that narcissistic rage, at that point, possibly no, they can't help it because they are in that rage. But before that, he hit that rage, they can help it. So we can then lose feelings of anger and resentment for the stunts they pull. And we can learn to stay away. We can lose those feelings. We can feel sorry for them. We can feel bad for them. We can wish them well, but we do have to stay away. When their admiration face is on, a narcissist can over-exaggerate their facial and body expressions. Not just people on the disorder that do this. Other people do this also. When the narcissist's envious face appears, they can anger, they can rage, or they can have an utterly emotionless face. This is when you could possibly witness the narcissist stare. A lot of narcissists are very good at faking emotions and facial expressions over, or even mirroring our emotions, mirroring the things that we like, mirroring our facial expressions. Over time spent around them and getting to know them, you might start to notice a lack of facial expressions sometimes. Again, people can do this if they are busy, if they are focused on something. With a narcissist, you're looking for if they've got at least 5 of the 9 characteristics, and if they've got that pattern of behaviour, it's the same as not all narcissists cheat. So they might not all have a string of crazy exes, but it's looking for the pattern of behaviour depending on the narcissist that you are dealing with. Often they believe their own lies. They might not when they first lie. They might feel shame, and that's why they lie, to cover up the shame that they feel and the action that they've done, or because they fear consequences of what they've done. But they often get to a point where they believe their own lies. So they can come across as genuine and extremely convincing at first when they are lying. The same as the false apology. They often believe that you are the one in the wrong. You are the one that made them do it, which is why they say, I'm sorry, but you, and why they pass the blame onto you. Pay close attention to how you feel around others. Those are your instincts. If you ask someone a question who reassures you, or if you discuss your feelings with someone who reassures you, if you ask someone who invalidates you, it's not because your feelings are wrong, it's because they have something to hide. Those people who reassure you, they care about you and they want to work with you, reach a compromise, reach an understanding, have mutual respect for each other. Those who invalidate you, it's because they have something to hide. So they want you to focus on your feelings as being the problem and not their behaviour themselves. Wherever you are in your stage of recovery from narcissistic abuse, keep going, because you can and you will recover from this. I'm Elizabeth Shaw. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for listening. Please pop in the comments the one thing you took away from this video that's helped you, or one thing that you would like more information on. I shall add in the description the online courses that I have available. I am full for one-to-one coaching, so I'll add I'll add the link to BetterHelp, and I'll add the reading list, because there's some very good books in there that help a lot of people, because recovery is all individual to you. Some people can read some blog posts and get on the way of living a much happier life. Some people can listen to YouTube videos. Some people can join support groups. Some people need EMDR treatment. Some people need online courses. Some people need therapy. It's all individual to you, and it's all finding what works for you, so that you're no longer stuck on the pain of the past, and so that you can work through those feelings. Sometimes we have to go through the pain so that we can find our happiness again. I'll add the video on mirroring to explain what and how they do that, and I'll add the video on the narcissist lies. Thank you very much for listening. If you're struggling today, stop and think about how far you've come, not how far you've got to go. If you're wondering where to go next, start creating those dreams of where you'd like to be 6 months, 1 year from now. Focus on those dreams. And it's about baby steps. There's a quote by someone about when you see if you know who the quote is, please add the name in the comments. But when you see the whole staircase, if you see the whole mountain, let's put it into perspective. If you see a big mountain in front of you and you're not into rock climbing or climbing, it's going to look like hard work to reach the top. And when you're at rock bottom, it's painful and it hurts. And some of those steps up can be painful and hurt. And some of those steps up, you can feel great joy and be proud of yourself. But you've got to take that first step to get to the top, to find your happiness, to work and move into your future. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.